Hello, hello. Welcome. This is Nomadic Pagan. Today, we're going to go over week 7 home shrine of the DP Will of the Year. So let's jump right into it. Hope you all had a good week. Week 7 home shrine related requirements. Number 4 home shrine required reading. Our own Druidry, page 8792. Personal work. And you got all these optional readings you can do to further your understanding of it. One of the main components of the path of an ADF Dedicant is to set up a home shrine. This shrine will become the center of your religious life and is a visible reminder of the path you choose to take. It does not need to be elaborate, expensive, or set up in any specific way. Rather, it should reflect you and your personal relationship with the deities and spirits. It can be cluttered with deity images, heaped with offerings, or a simple table with candles. The important thing is that it works for you. You may wish to set up your shrine in such a way that it can double as a meditation seat. We will begin meditation next week, by the way. Or you may wish to simply use the shrine as an altar upon which you will work daily devotionals, or only use every 6 weeks for a high day rite. The usage and setup are entirely up to you. Find a spot that is accessible to you for rites and or meditation. You might set up a small table or hang shelves or clear a bookshelf for the shrine. You might even set it up outside. Some people in very cramped houses with no available shelf space have painted their altars onto the wall. Place items that connect you to your deities or that simply remind you of the spiritual connection you feel in ritual. You might represent the fire, well, and tree from ADF liturgy, or perhaps the god, ancestors, and nature spirits. Again, it's important to remember that this is your altar, and as such, you should personalize it as much as you wish. Something I found particularly helpful when doing my home shrine essays was to take a photograph of the shrine at each high day. Doing this gives you the ability to revisit the process of building the shrine. When you come back to write your final essay, if you can take pictures of your shrine more often, do that too. You'd be surprised how much a shrine can change in just a couple of weeks if you're getting really active in your work. Also, if you're looking for things to put on your shrine, check out the ADF store. http://store.adf.org. Not entirely sure that's still up. They've been doing a lot of things through the website. And the Magical Druid, which the Magical Druid is owned by the writer of this guide. At a local festival or in person in Columbus, Ohio, which is where they're out of. It's amazing what you can find out there. Homework. When you are satisfied, and remember that you can always work on it later, grab a camera and snap a photo. Write down what is on your altar, how it looks, and why you choose the things you did. Think about how you would like to make it better and brainstorm some suggestions. Keep those ideas in the back of your mind for later improvement to the shrine. This is the author's home shrine. The title of the essay, 3 Bowls and a Stick. Makes more sense now, right? Yeah. 3 bowls and a stick. You got your candles and your well, and your tree, and the 3 pillars. One. Look at my here. This was my first home shrine. You got your 3 bowls. You got your tree. This I have representing my tree even to this day. It's the world tree. And that was my first. And I got into it more here. Like he said, revisit your pictures. Things are going to change. I got a picture here representing Odin and one representing Hel, my 2 patrons. I think I'm missing a bowl, but there's your fire, there's your tree, and there's your well. That's what we're representing here. That's an offering bowl. This was a meditation, those little bell things that you move this stick around and it's supposed to make some noise. And my incense holder, and there's my divination tools. Okay, and then think this was another alliteration of my altar. My sister got me these for Christmas or Yule one year. The statue of Odin, the statue of Hel. There's a tree, of course. There's the well. I think I'm missing a bowl. But this is how I have my altar set up, probably right now. And that's a little candle holder that I found at the thrift store. Someone carved. Thought that was pretty unique. Let's go back to our readings here. That was it on that. This is from the ADF manual, page 87 and 92. The home shrine, one of the most traditional ways to begin your relationship with the inner world, is to create a personal shrine of worship in your own home. Pagan religion cannot be contained in groves and temples. It is not owned by priestesses or druids. The reality of pagan druidry is found in the hearts of every pagan who keeps the ways. It is found in every home where the god and goddesses and spirits are present. So we make a real place in our homes where the powers can be welcomed, a place where we can go to be in their presence, to give offerings and receive blessings. Some may ask, aren't the powers present everywhere? Why should we limit them to a single place in our homes? This question can be answered in several ways. The old religions did not conceive of the many gods, goddesses, and spirits as omnipotent or omniscient or omnipresent. The powers dwell on the other side, in many other worlds, both near to and very distant from our common mortal world. While many of those powers are interested in the lives and well-beings of mortals, dwelling close by our common world, pagan tradition makes it clear that our own participation is required to forge the connections between ourselves and the gods. After all, it is only proper for us to set up the table, as it were, for the great ones we hope to welcome. Tradition makes it clear that the awareness and powers of the god and spirits manifest through the temples and holy places that mortals create on earth. By making beautiful places filled with symbolism proper to the work, and by filling those places with the devotion of our worship, we open a road for the spirit's power. Devotional shrine. The simplest way to begin a home shrine is to place a table or cabinet in a part of your home where it can be private and quiet. There should be enough space for yourself and the members of your household that will use it to sit comfortably for ritual meditation. Where were we? You should begin by placing in the shrine symbols of our basic Indo-European Druidic cosmos: fire, well, and the world tree, or world mountain. If you have been working simple Druidic rites, you will probably have developed a set of tools that you set up and take down at need. You may now wish to use those as your more permanent shrine hollows, or you may wish to get another set which you will install and not move if you go outdoors. The home shrine can be constructed as a sacred grove in miniature, a model of the forces that join to open the gates between the worlds. The fire might be best represented as a triple flame, rather a triple wick candle or oil flame or 3 votive candles. White and or red would be best colors. The red, white, and black, or green or blue, have much of Indo-European symbolism behind them. The well should be represented by a simple bowl of water. This can be in the shape of a cauldron if you wish to partake of all the rich meanings of that symbol. The world center symbol on the home altar can be as simple as or elaborate as you choose. It is perhaps most proper for it to be of wood, oak, rowan, ash, or hazel. A tall stone may also serve or represent the pillar tree done in metal or ceramic. Your altar tree or stone can be carved or decorated as you wish. These simple symbols should become the physical and spiritual center of your shrine. European lore does not give us clear instructions for orienting the shrine. Pagan lore favors either placing the altar in the east, the holy place of the rising sun, or in the north, the place of the North Star, center of the sky. The shrine is placed on that wall so that you sit facing the direction and the altar. Place a tree either against the wall or in the center of the altar area. At its base, the well with the fire closest to your seat. To those, you may wish to add a censer near the fire or other candles for light, a bowl to hold small offerings, and perhaps a bell or chime. For this core symbolism, you can begin to add whatever additional patterns appeal to you, perhaps patterns that are on from the Indo-European culture whose path you are investigating. If you wish, you may represent the three worlds of land, sea, and sky, or symbols proper to an ethnic path. Incense for sky, a shell for or salt water for sea, and a small bowl of salt or clean soil, or a stone or crystal for the land can be filled out the picture. Of course, many or most pagans will want to include representation or symbols of the gods and goddesses, the ancestors and the nature spirits. Those you will probably acquire over time at your own work grows. In fact, the home shrine will serve as a kind of changing and growing map of your growth in the Druid way. As you begin a web of worship and relationship with the powers, you will rearrange your shrine, adding or subtracting symbols. In time, you will have a personal cathedral in a corner of your home, where you can truly commune with the powers and find balance and peace in your soul. 3 bowls and a stick, creating a home shrine on a budget. Michael J. Dangler. I started work on my Dedicant path as soon as I joined ADF. At the time, I was a college student living in an apartment with 2 people who did not share my religious belief. Since we all know that college student equals poor, I won't try to describe my economic situation too much. I didn't set up an altar immediately. In the original DP, there was no order to the whole thing, and the home shrine was actually near the back of the materials. It wasn't until I heard Skip Allison, our steward at the time, speak at Summerlin on the daily worship rites that I started constructing my own home shrine. Skip's workshop wasn't really on altars, but he did mention sacred spaces in the home, and he described his altar quite thoroughly. Immediately after his worship, I started to take notes on what I wanted in an altar. I'm a firm believer that an altar should reflect the practicalities of your situation. Since I haven't told my parents I was pagan, if they came by, they'd see my altar, so I wanted something I could put away, which is in direct defiance of what the DP tells you to do. I had the added worry of 2 white cats, which means that I couldn't set up a permanent altar anywhere within their reach, and I couldn't use a black altar cloth or any other color due to their fantastic ability to fling the hair they shed to the oddest corners of the room. My absolute poverty as a college student was another thing to overcome. The Archdruid had shown us his traveling altar, and he had some nice things. There is also a section about the home shrine in the DP material that suggested many things for the altar: a cauldron for the well, a triple wick candle for the fire, and a carved piece of wood for the tree. The home shrine is a sacred grove in miniature, the DP said. Representation of the deities could be added, as such as could symbols for land, sea, and sky. That's a lot to purchase on a budget. I didn't even have a table to put this stuff on. Well, I shot for days to find a triple wick candle that was unscented, and I couldn't find one in my town anywhere. I gave up on that and decided to grab 3 votive candles and use those. I was too poor to buy a cauldron, so I found an old Tupperware bowl and used that as my well. Instead of a real altar cloth, I used a white dishcloth. Still in use, I might add. I used some Dixie cups that I had cut in half for offering cups until I found a couple more Tupperware bowls. As the finishing touch, I took a stick and stood it upright on the altar, and this became the tree. My altar was simply put 3 bowls and a stick. I initially had the altar set up on a set of drawers, too low for me to stand in front. The top drawer was reserved for my altar stuff, and everything had its place in there. It has since been moved to a more permanent, visible set into the top shelf of a bookshelf, due mainly to relaxed relationship issues and one less roommate. As time progressed, I have replaced things. At an after Christmas sale at Target, I picked up a greeting card holder shaped like a Christmas tree that I used as my tree for $4. I bought a small cauldron at a local pagan shop for $9 to replace my first Tupperware bowl. I've bought some statues from Sacred Source, which represents the only serious monetary investment into this altar so far. My first votive candle lasted a year and a half before they needed replacing. In short, the home shrine doesn't need to be perfect, nor does it need to be expensive, pretty, or any other adjective. While it would be ideal if this was permanent, certain living situations might cause problems with this. I would suggest that if you cannot make it permanent, you at least set it up in the same place each time you use it, with the same altar configuration. If you're living in a temporary housing for any sort, something as simple as 3 bowls and a stick might be ideal. Take your life into consideration and consider the impact this altar will have on it. Do your parents come over often? And if so, do they know or care that you're a pagan? Do you have children or cats that might knock things off an altar? This is your altar, so do what you want with it. As food for thought, remember that nothing limits you only to one altar either. You can have many altars. Set up ancestor altar to remember the fallen, the lost. Hollering the shrine. I'll let you all read this one. This is how you holler the shrine. It's basically a ritual you can do. Alright, y'all. So, you've seen that home shrine. You can make it elaborate as you want or simple as you want. Just find a tabletop. Put your offering bowls. Put what you want to symbolize to your patrons if you found them yet. Just do what feels right. Anyway, until next week, this is Jason Nomadic Pagan. Can't even say my name today. Can't even talk today. I'm not sure if y'all noticed that. But hope you all have a good week, and I'll see you next week. See you later.